You know, I think it's too bad. I just hope it doesn't put a bad name onto the campus and the program as a whole, because they've done such a great job over the years. It's one little fall. I just hope it's not a long-term deal.
I didn't commit anything. I didn't do anything. I just came here to play basketball.
Now, there's players and also other members of the Syracuse community speaking out as the NCAA penalizes the men's basketball team for a series of rules that were allegedly violated as early as 2001. NCAA officials say that the team had a string of improper conduct, including academic misconduct. That's homework, cheating. You also had drug failures here without penalties, improper benefits, cash trading hands for the players. The NCAA says the school did not control and monitor its athletic programs. And the head coach, Jim Boeheim, he was suspended for the first 9 ACC games next year. He's also docked 108 wins. He went from second all-time to now 6th. His team will also lose 12 scholarships over the next 4 years and is being put on a 5-year probation period. And they weren't going to make it anyway, Don, but they're not going to be in the tournament this year. You're a Syracuse alum. You were involved with the team, not as a player, but
Right.
Does any of this surprise you that this stuff went on?
Absolutely not.
They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt.
Mr. Brodsky.
Syracuse is corrupt.
Mr. Brodsky, you can say whatever you want about me. I am consistent, and I will call it exactly the way it
Syracuse
is.
corrupt?
Of course. Name one basketball coach in America that's not pushing
Well, what
the
did
rules.
you see? What did you see?
Well, here's what I know. I don't think you can dispute this because I was there. As a dorm director at Syracuse, I was in charge, as I've told you before, of the area where all the basketball and football players lived. We were told in training that if something happened, before we contact the police, you were to contact the coach of that team. Now, you do the math on that. Why are we being taught, if there's a law enforcement issue, to contact the coach before law enforcement?
No disrespect, this is the small issue. The big issue is, you know who should be held accountable here?
Who?
Is the NCAA. They're the problem. Pay the players already. Stop the nonsense of nitpick. I know we are. We spoke about this, but let's stop the nonsense with all these small violations. Okay.
What
These
about the
kids
scholastic
need
violations? What about
the cheating and stuff? You think, to Andrew's point, you think you basically make these guys semi-pro, don't make them go to class?
Absolutely, and they should be reduced. There should be a reduction in terms of educational requirements.
And Richard, as far as the academics, now this was 20 years ago. The quarterback of the football team was in one of my classes. I saw him twice the entire semester. No offense, these kids really don't go to school.
Did you pass him?
Did I pass them in terms of the grade?
Yeah.
Of course.
Are you corrupt?
Oh, of course not. but Richard, I mean, come on. And the argument being made by Brad, come on, man.
I know that, but
you're
honestly,
pulling these
it's
kids
not
out of projects.
It's not a
They
financially
don't have
sustainable
anything.
model. I don't disagree with you. Lift the
Richard,
veil. I should also say,
they're making Syracuse millions.
you go to a lot of programs, though, and you look at the graduation rates, they're higher than the average students, or the general students that are going on here.
Apparently they're not taking classes. I mean, if you're
I think we're throwing a broad
you want to pay them, that's one thing. But they're in school for a reason.
Dominic is an honest man. A mistaken honest man, but an honest man. He was meshed in a system that caused bad outcomes. Doesn't make him corrupt.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that every dorm guy was corrupt.
Right.
Right.
All I ask is that same
simple, man.
principle.
That's simple, man. All right, I want to get this one. We go to the University of Oklahoma.
Oh, here we go.
And the president there, David Boren, says, remember him? He couldn't sleep after watching a video of one of the fraternities on campus taking part in a racist chant.
There'll never be a There'll never be a You never broke a dream, but it'll never stop me. There'll never be.
What he was saying, with all the bleeping, is there'll never be the N-words at that particular frat. The idiot and friends who were loudly chanting it apparently weren't doing it for the first time. Now, Boren, again, the president of Oklahoma, he called the fraternity members on the video disgraceful. And as you just saw, members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon chanted that slur and indicated that blacks would never be admitted into that frat. The National Fraternity acted quickly, releasing a statement calling the conduct embarrassing, unacceptable, and racist. It will close the local chapter. Members have till tomorrow night to move out of that home here. There's already protests on campus going on, everything that you would assume. But we have seen, Brad, across campuses from sexual harassment and worse. We have seen hazing that's resulted in deaths. We've seen countless cases where kids, whether it's drug or alcohol, poisoned to the point where they had to be resuscitated at schools. We've all gone there, okay? If you're, and I'm going to ask the same question to all of you, if you're the university president, have fraternities and sororities reached a liability standpoint, if nothing else, to your campus, that there are more problems than they're worth?
Well, there's more focus on them, and as a result, there'll be more liability. So there is liability. To answer your question, is there more liability than there was 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago? I'm not so sure. Greek life is something that is part of the and enmeshed in the system of collegiate activity for men and women.
Are you a frat guy at Hofstra?
No, a football guy. So
Yeah.
maybe that's one step worse. the thing, so I just see it as it just has to be managed.
It was
It's
your
like
idea.
anything else that needs to be managed.
He
It's a
thinks you
good
can
thing until
manage
it
it.
becomes a bad
Do you
thing.
agree?
I'm not so sure. I think we've just seen enough bad situations pop up through fraternities. I mean, you're going to get bad situations at college campuses no matter what, but I think you sort of get a gang mentality that feeds off it. I think you saw it on that bus video.
Yeah.
Where everybody just joins
Unfortunately,
the
I
group.
got 10 seconds each. You
Give
guys
it to
both saw it.
Brodsky.
Would you? Has its time come and gone?
If people want to join a frat, they should have a right to do it. The university should not encourage it or sanction it. There should be a separation of frat and state.
Dom?
I don't want to do black topics tonight.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Anyway, I don't think you throw it all out. I don't know where he went with this. All right, when we come back, I have my own rant, and it has to do with guns across America. A look at the fight here to get guns out of the hands of not just children, the mentally ill and terrorists, and somehow we have a debate about this. I'll tell you what I have to say on the other side.